I've got Brian Hodel from T-Mobile, focused on transforming operations with Power Platform. So, Brian, it's great to have you here. I really appreciate it. Maybe just tell me a little bit about your role at T-Mobile.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I work on Power Platform. My background in process improvement led me to that platform, and so I look for opportunities to use the various tools in the platform to fix processes, to make them more efficient and easier for our business operations to move and change.
And as you look across your portfolio, how do you decide where to focus? Like which solutions to go address?
I think the things that are scalable, the things that are common problems, the things that we have, really disparate, broken processes where there's a lot of disconnects, a lot of waiting. Those are things I kind of look for from a process improvement standpoint.
Got it.
Now with a lot of the AI tools, it's kind of shifted towards things where using natural language to do improvements on things like retail operations is a great example. So you don't have to train somebody to use all these complicated tools. They can just ask a question in natural language, get really detailed answers. So you can really focus on getting somebody that's the best at their role, in that case, dealing with people, and not have to be a technical expert as well.
That's a good segue, I think, to PromoGenius. And maybe tell us a little bit about what led to this new app that you built called PromoGenius. Why'd you build it?
The retail stores had a lot of very complex offers, all kinds of different markets and customers they had to keep track of, and it would change every day. And the format was on paper for a long time. So it was really challenging to look up those things. It wasn't a very professional look, right? You go into a technology company, somebody pulls out a big sheet of paper with the grids on it and try to figure it out. So we were asked to come up with a better solution, and we chose the Power Platform because it was very rapid to move things through and to develop. And there was actually an ask of another development team, and they said it was about 9 months. And I was able to deliver it in about, I think it was 3 weeks. We did it from start to finish. And it's very complex. It ties together Oracle, SAP, a bunch of other data transformations we do through Fabric and then dump it into Dataverse. And now it's the second most used app in the entire organization, which for a company that has 200,000 Power App licenses is saying a lot.
9 months or 3 weeks. I know which one I choose. That's great. That's a great outcome. And I understand you added AI to this PromoGenius app using Copilot Studio. Could you tell us just a bit about that?
Yeah, if you think of things in a cycle, if you look at the business processes that are around it, I try to think the integration. That's one of the things that leads me to the Power Platform a lot, is that you don't have to build a tool and then context switch to go to a different tool and another tool. We can bring those tools together. And in this case, we built a Copilot agent to sit on top of the app. And so they can just be in the PromoGenius looking at promotions and click on the assistant in there and ask it questions, compare devices, say, I have a teacher who cares, she wants a lot of photos. What's a good phone for her? What's a good promotion? And then I have to know a bunch of advanced queries, and then I have to answer in crazy cryptic, like 20 gigabytes that nobody cares about. They want to know this has a lot, and it'll give you 500 videos on your phone. That's what people want to know, right? So, and that's what it enables.
That's great. So you've used Power Apps, you've used Copilot Studio. I think you also use Power Automate somewhere along the way. This is an unfair question, but what's your favorite part of Power Platform? Like which of the components is your favorite?
Well, a couple of years ago, I published a book on Dataverse, so I'd have to say Dataverse is probably that big piece.
Okay.
We actually built Orbit, which is our go-to-market platform, around 7 years ago, went back before it was Dataverse. And so we lived through a lot of the pain, but it's enabled us to build something that's much more secure than any of the other tools that we have in the organization. It allows us to do really advanced customizations, very quick data retrieval, and all of the things we need to do. And we've continued to grow that product and scale it out and just branch into other tools. We're building our own little version of Dynamics, essentially.
Wow. And so where are you headed next? I mean, you've talked about two pretty important parts of your business. What's next?
I also am very involved with the champions team that we have internally. So supporting the organization in growth and education and expanding the tools, especially now that we have Copilot and we have a lot of licenses. So a lot of that barrier has finally been removed, which is amazing. And it's unlocked a lot of people to solve their own problems. You look at the process improvement background with Lean Six Sigma. One of the principles that you have in Lean is to give people the tools to solve their own problems. And so I really look for opportunities to help people to do that. That's getting even more capable. But we're going to continue to grow our tools. And then with the development capabilities in Copilot Studio and generative pages, really gives that ability for people to go in and build massively complex solutions very simply that are secure and managed, and we have the compliance around them. They're able to solve big problems in minutes.
That's amazing. And where do you see this future of AI and low code going? Like, where do you think that's all headed?
I think it's really going to change the outlook of who is a developer. I think everybody can be a developer. Even though we had the low code before, it still took a lot of strategy. You had to know how to build databases and think through a lot of logic. Things like Plan Designer help you to do that. They give you that assistance to kind of like, I work in this role and I want to do this thing. And it guides you through that entire architecture and asks you the right questions. Things that I used to have to do in process improvement to guide people to get the decisions and say, yeah, there's different roles, there's different people, security. It does that for you. And so I think that the people that maybe got struggled with the getting something started before, that's gone, because you can get started and you can build really advanced things, and then you can keep iterating on them. So constantly improving with like pipelines, making things where ALM is really advanced and super easy. They can have proper scaled enterprise solutions that it doesn't take a pro developer to do.
It's never been a better time to be a maker.
It's never been a better time to be an employee in a company that has those keys unlocked.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. I think everybody has the ability to be a developer now.
All right, Brian. So I sometimes talk about these things called magic moments with AI, these moments where you do something and AI does something unexpected and magical for you. What's an AI magic moment that you've experienced recently?
It was pretty recently. There's been a lot of them, honestly. It's constantly changing. But recently, our PowerCat team member showed us generative pages, and she did a demo of something that we were having a challenge with. And honestly, I was just awed. I didn't even know how to react. And I've seen a lot of great stuff, right? I deal with a lot of cool tools. That absolutely blew my mind, how you could make these beautiful interfaces in an underutilized tool, which is the model-driven apps, being able to utilize them finally in something that looks good, but go in there and just natural language talk to something and build these amazing, beautiful, intuitive interfaces, and in minutes. Unbelievable. That totally blew my mind.
Brian, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time, and I love what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.